Imagine two 30-year-olds living in the same city. They work in similar industries and take home the exact same paycheck. Fast forward 10 years, and one of them is highly secure, while the other is constantly stressed about money. This divergence happens right at the moment life finally starts to feel stable. You graduate, get a real job, and your income goes up. That is exactly when the silent financial leak begins. Take a look at Daniel's timeline. He gets a well-earned raise, so he moves into a nicer apartment. Another promotion follows, so he upgrades to a newer car. It feels perfectly reasonable. He is earning more, so he spends more. But by doing this, his expenses automatically expand to consume every new dollar, completely erasing any gap between what he makes and what he spends. Society looks at this behavior and calls it enjoying the rewards of hard work. In reality, Daniel is building himself a permanent financial prison. It goes far deeper than cars and apartments. Daily spending habits are heavily driven by an underlying sense of stress, sadness, or a feeling of lacking control. Welcome to the dopamine casino. Make an impulse purchase, and your brain releases a feel-good chemical. It lights up to mask stress, then rapidly fades. Looking at behavioral data, nearly 1/3 of people shop specifically to elevate their mood, far beyond necessity spending. Mindless spenders are rarely buying products they actually need. They are continuously purchasing temporary chemical hits to manage their emotions. Beyond emotional spending, there is an entirely automated drain on your capital. It comes in the form of subscription creep. Behavioral economists define a concept called status quo bias, our preference to keep things exactly as they are. The modern digital economy weaponizes this, trapping 72% of consumers into paying for services they never use, simply just in case they might need them later. A $9.99 monthly fee sounds microscopic to the human brain, but spread across a dozen forgotten free trials and complex cancellation pages, that tiny anchor price slams into a $1,400 annual loss. Financial author David Bach popularized this specific phenomenon as the latte factor, illustrating how small, daily indulgences quietly erode your net worth over time. A $5 iced coffee will not keep you from buying a house. The actual threat is the mindset of mindless consumption that justifies the coffee, then the subscriptions, and eventually locks you into living paycheck to paycheck. Now let's return to the other 30-year-old, Michael. He works at the exact same company and earns the exact same salary as Daniel, but he follows one strict rule. His strategy is completely boring. Every single time his income goes up, he ensures his lifestyle expenses grow at a noticeably slower rate. By forcing this gap between earning and spending, he transforms his excess cash. Instead of using it to maintain liabilities, he uses it as an asset creation tool. It requires discipline to ignore the immediate validation of a new car. But as investors like Warren Buffett have demonstrated, true wealth demands multi-decade patience. Capital is never generated by the raw size of your paycheck. It is built exclusively by the intentional friction you place between your income and your desires. When you redirect that leaked money into investments, you trigger a mechanical force that works in the opposite direction. Your initial money earns interest. Then, that generated interest begins to generate its own returns, creating a self-sustaining cycle of growth. This chart shows exactly how that math plays out. Redirecting a single $5 daily habit into a modest investment scales into a $300,000 peak over 40 years. But the timeline is unforgiving. If you spend your 30s inflating your lifestyle and wait until your mid-40s to start investing, catching up to that curve becomes mathematically agonizing. Foregoing an impulse purchase today secures the capital required to build an impenetrable shield of financial stability for your future. By age 45, those two distinct realities are locked in. Daniel is trapped in high-income exhaustion, working just to pay for his lifestyle. Michael possesses asset-backed freedom. You can shift your trajectory today. Pull your past bank statements, identify your emotional spending triggers, and sever those draining subscriptions. Do not view a budget as a tool for deprivation. It is a strategic blueprint to ensure your hard-earned money flows exclusively toward the things you actually value. A high salary will only ever make your present life comfortable. Only compounding assets can buy your freedom in the future.